Welcome back to Struggle Topics. This is Cole. I'm visiting here with Nick, my co-host, and our guest for the week. Introduce yourself, guest.
Victoria Jankowski.
You did not have to say your whole name, but now you have her credit card information. For the small price of $99.99, I will give you her social security
yeah, we
card
gotta get
number.
that.
Um, yes, we're visited by Victoria today. So how are you doing today, Victoria? Anything interesting? Is it about Mars? Because that's what the topic is today. Mars, bitch. Mars. What? God, how do people on the internet do that? I don't understand how you can keep that much goddamn energy up for like even 20 minutes of video.
I do.
How?
Cocaine.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Drugs. Drugs is the obvious answer. Uh, but like when you're like small time, how do you get that much energy? You can't afford cocaine at that point.
Heroin instead.
No, heroin. What are your thoughts, Victoria?
Battery
Is it
acid.
heroin, cocaine, gasoline?
Earl, maybe.
Adderall.
Adderall.
It's Adderall.
It's a pterodactyl on Adderall.
Oh my god, pterodactyl. Nick, shut up. I don't pay you to be clever.
You don't pay me at all.
Exactly. In fact, you owe me money.
You talking
I
about?
bought this microphone for you.
But it's in your house,
Exactly.
so you still have it.
You know what? Shut up and give me that pen. No. Get this shit out. Oh, there goes my phone. Well, you know what? He's ruined the podcast. Everyone, Nick has ruined the podcast with this. God, get this. Yeah, bad. No, bad Nick. I gotta
Don't
take.
murder the mic doing it, damn.
I've got to take all of this shit away from him because what he will do is just click
Take it
shit.
apart.
Like in this mouse. What did you do with the back of this mouse?
What are you talking about? There never was a back on it.
I don't believe you at all. But anyway, today's topic is colonization of Mars. We brought in our resident expert, Victoria. Victoria,
Who's
what's
been
it
to
like?
Mars.
Yeah, what's it like being a Martian?
Well, it's difficult integrating into your weird human society, especially, trying to understand the right moments to laugh. As you can see, I'm still struggling as I've been laughing the entire time.
Don't worry, we struggle all the time. It's the name of the
Yeah,
show.
we struggle to stay on topic.
All right, so the topic is Mars. I've said that 3 times now.
Elon's
And-
waifu.
Yes.
So, what is your opinion on the colonization of Mars? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it in reference to the anime me and Nick have made? What is this? What is your opinion on it?
It is a good idea because it is the closest planet that we have that we could logically terraform. But then again, I really don't want to live in a desert again, and most of Mars is just red sand dunes. So it's easy to do, but very unappealing to me.
So, but why would we do it? Why? Like, I could think the only feasible
For the
reason
aliens, that's why.
for the for those alien cheeks.
Alien cheeks.
Um,
It's for
Like-
all the iron in the red sand.
like on our feminist episode, someone has to disagree. So, I disagree. This is actually for the joke. I think the colonization of Mars is a really dumb idea. I don't see a point to it because if you can terraform and create an atmosphere that would sustain life, like on a planet like Mars,
Why not do it on Earth?
yeah,
first?
exactly. Why the fuck would you go to Mars? You can do it here. Like, the only feasible option is, will something fucked up so bad that the Earth is just unlivable to the point where we're picking a desert with a different gravity and a different, what is it? Like fucking acid rain? Or is that Venus? I
That's
think
Venus.
Mars also
No,
has
that's-
acid rain.
That's Venus.
That's actually Venus, where it rains acid. And really, the only reason why we would ever colonate Mars is because of the fact that we've pretty much fucked ourselves into oblivion, no pun intended, because we're just running out of space for so many people.
Well, see, I've also heard that argument before as well, that the overpopulation's an issue. However, you can fit the entire population into a small area such as New York. And it's a livable and sustainable society, and that's 7.5 billion people. So I don't think overpopulation, at least in our lifetime, is ever and it would ever be an issue.
The real issue is resource management. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's
But
not-
what
it's not
resources
the
does
issue
Mars
of-
have?
Iron, potentially frozen water underneath the crust.
So Mars does actually have water at its poles, and it does actually have some resources that we do have here on Earth. But overpopulation isn't the issue. The issue is that we're all fucking selfish and we all want space. So we could feasibly compact ourselves into, as you said, the size of an area the size of New York. But do you really think anyone's going to want that?
Yeah, but is anyone gonna want to spend billions of dollars to buy real estate on Mars?
Elon.
I mean, besides the people that have billions of dollars to make it to Mars,
He's just trying to get back home.
that's like, yeah. You have you have like, what is it, like 7 people on the planet that can afford to go there? It's just we don't have the means quite just yet.
That's why he's talking about having like a work study program or whatever. So
It's
like you
works. No, that's called indentured servitude.
servitude, yeah.
That,
technically, yeah.
where you essentially you get to go to Mars, however, you become a
gotta work.
slave to SpaceX.
Yeah, dude, half of the shit that comes out of Elon Musk's mouth is
It's
stupid.
hilarious.
Like, for example,
it's hilarious.
one of the
You get a
new things
special
that he's
code
coming
name?
up with
You'd be
is the
XP4.
universal satellite internet. He's gonna pump like a shit ton of satellites into the atmosphere
He's already done
to
it.
try and make it to.
He's
Yeah, I
pumped,
know.
like
He's talking about
hundreds of
doing
them.
more.
Yeah,
He's trying
I know.
to get more out there, and everyone that's in the astronomy society hates the idea because of the fact that we already have an issue with light pollution, and all of those satellites are just going to add on to it. And
Well-
it's just half of the shit that he has good intentions, but he's just fucking dumb half of the time.
Why not just build giant relay towers all over the place? To
Because we do that, and our internet's still shitty.
Build more.
I mean,
pump the air filled with electricity, like Tesla intended.
like Tesla.
Follow your namesake.
Hold on,
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Elon's Tesla or Nikola Tesla?
Nikola Tesla, but also Tesla's
Tesla.
namesake.
Oh man. Oh.
No. Speaking of Tesla, God,
Sell only
the freaking
one part
car.
of
I saw a
Tesla
joke
cars.
earlier today.
You know what that is? Wiper blades. That's all we sell for Tesla cars.
Really?
Yep. I looked it up.
Victoria, are you good? Did you just die on
Yeah.
stream?
She's phasing in out of reality.
The joke was
She's communicating to her people. She's speaking the language of the gods.
Hold on, I've got to check Discord to see. Yeah, our connection's fine. Oh, Victoria. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
hold on. Okay, I think that's better.
It's the
Can you hear
distance
me?
from Mars. That's
Yes.
what it is.
However, you look like you're a
Okay.
member of like Anonymous. Your face is so pixelated.
We have a message.
Oof, I may actually have to turn off my my video because it's taking up so much bandwidth.
Oh, that's fine. You'll just see me and Nick's beautiful faces. Ah, there we go.
That's right. Our beautiful face.
But anyways, where did I cut off at?
The meme. It was the meme. But I actually do think Elon has a good ideas, at least with Mars, because I think the only good reason to go to Mars is for the novelty of it.
Free real estate.
Mhm.
No, shut up. We're past the real estate part. It's for the novelty of it, because we went to the moon, and like this
To
isn't.
beat the Russians.
Yes,
It was a cock measuring contest.
Nick, shut up and let me finish my sentences, please. We
Or did
also
ever go to the moon in
Nick.
the first place?
Yes, we did. There's tons of evidence to support.
Did we?
Yes.
It could just be a giant paper plate.
You know what? This
It would have been
this
more
supports my
expensive
theory that
to
the moon
fake
is a
the
liberal
moon
myth.
landing than it would have been to actually go there.
No, Victoria, it supports my theory that the moon is a liberal myth. I mean, think about it. The liberals made it up.
All to get Trump unelected.
Exactly.
That's right. Yep.
Liberals. No, I can't say that with a straight face. But the reason we went to the moon is because it's because we could. It's because, well, one,
we wanted to beat the Russians.
Yeah, but also because
we wanted to show communism doesn't work because capitalism.
Well, no, because they had the first spaceship in space and the first astronauts in space. We
But
just
guess
got to...
who's lived? Ours did.
No, a couple of theirs lived too, and they're part of the
Theirs
International
burned
Space
up
Station.
and died.
Nick,
They sent a monkey and it came back as charcoal.
Yeah, well, Nick, there are Russian astronauts that are still in space.
They're not astronauts, they're cosmonauts.
Nick, I get it. You're pro-capitalism. You're anti-communism. However, they made it to space before America did. That's an accomplishment no other human being had done.
Yeah, with
And
Sputnik 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to get credit where credit is due. That is a gigantic leap.
But who touched the moon?
We did.
Exactly.
And that is a huge leap for people.
Whose flag is on that moon, claiming real estate?
China's right now too.
Oh, that's why we're having World War III. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're sending an astronaut team up there to put China's flag on there.
That's funny because you know what's going to happen in like 3 months? It's going to turn bleach white. That's what our flag turned into.
It's still gonna be up there. I mean,
it's the surrender flag. Aliens are gonna come in. They're gonna see our flags. And
so you just admitted that you just admitted that America surrendered.
Earth did.
No, America.
America is Earth.
God, Nick.
Why do you think the aliens, whenever they come down, they're always gonna come to Earth? I mean, to America.
I mean, there's an entire show called Doctor Who, which begs to differ. I mean, all the aliens go to Britain for some reason. I mean, sometimes America, but mainly Britain and India. Because, you know, why not fuck with the biggest populations on the planet?
Because they go to, for the tea.
They go there for the tea.
Yeah, that's right.
They heard out in
the farthest
space,
reaches of space.
Like, with all the scientific knowledge that the world has put out into space, all the radios, they only came for the tea. That's like going to a Mexican restaurant and only going for the queso. I mean...
What do you go there for? I go for the queso.
Yeah, that I buy. You've never reimbursed me for the queso. You've never even offered to say, hey, let's split it halfway. No, you just assume I'm gonna buy it.
Because you do.
Yeah, Nick, I do. Because I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. It's not like I piss in it when you're not looking. Goddamn troglodyte.
Oh, is that why it tastes like Blue Death?
Anyway, Victoria, your opinions on my rant? Hello?
If you keep emphasizing good guy, I'm going to doubt that you're a guy.
I'm a good guy, okay? I only kick babies for recreation. Not a job.
It's for recreation. Wow.
That's gonna go on the internet. That's 100%. It's gonna be a public record that I kick babies for recreation.
So do you think Mars has a bunch of Mars bars up there? And that's why we're trying so hard to get to Mars? For the unlimited Mars bars?
Because our Mars bar population is...
It's dwindling. They're going extinct. They're in danger.
Victoria, what are your opinions on this?
I agree that the only people that would ever really get to go there are the like stupid fucking rich people, and right now the only thing populating it is entirely robots. But I think one positive that could come out of that is that all of the people that are taking all of our money would no longer be here to take our money.
No, they would still
Yeah, they
take
would
our
still
money.
take our money. It'd
Yeah,
be like
they would
King
just
George back in not 1970.
1970. Yeah, like King George, that asshole. He wasn't the king of England. He was the king of Uruguay at the time.
Uruguay.
But you know, he was still taking people's money. The
Back in
cunt.
1719, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right before the American Revolution, he was taxing us all to smithereens.
And yeah, and that's like the perfect strategy for rich people. They can't throw like nukes and shit at us if we're on Mars. They can barely make it to Mars. How the fuck are they gonna nuke us when
But if
we're
we can get
all
to
the way
Mars,
up here?
We can get to the asteroid belt, and then we can just lob asteroids at them.
Yeah, but the rich people are gonna be there, so they're not gonna let that happen. In fact, they're gonna lob asteroids at us.
Then we just play asteroid pool. And we
Nick,
just, like, knock each other's asteroids out of the space.
Nick, we don't have any asteroids.
We don't?
No, we
No, we
don't.
have satellites.
Yeah, like
What's in our backyard then?
a moon that we can't move, and that we've
Perfect.
only put a
We'll
flag
put a-
on that
No, no,
turned
no.
white.
We'll put a bunch of refracting mirrors on the moon.
Oh
And we're
my
gonna
God.
point it toward Mars, and we're gonna call it the Death Star. The
That's no
Star.
moon. That's no moon. Yes, it is, you dumbass. We just put a giant mirror on it. So, Victoria, did you know me and Nick made an anime?
Oh yeah, we are in the process of writing an anime and creating it.
No, I didn't know that you guys were doing that.
Yeah.
We did it because we were talking yesterday and we said, hey, let's make an anime. And then we fucking did.
Well, what's it about? Tell me about it.
So, it's about a guy, right? He gets pulled into another world. Groundbreaking, I know.
Groundbreaker, wonderful. 10 out of 10. 4 out of 4.
But he's forced, essentially,
Into a
out of his body, and he is forced to hop through different people's bodies to endeavor a goal, which is to beat an entity who can control any animal.
Does the same thing, but with animals.
Yeah, he does exactly the same thing with animals. And they're like fighting each other, except they don't know what each other looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a constant trying to figure out where this guy is, trying to figure out who he is, and then getting to him and beating the other guy.
But there's an overarching subplot underneath that you don't realize that's happening until, like...
Season 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Blue.
Okay.
It
So-
sounds better the way we wrote it, because I'm terrible at describing things, and we went like seriously off of like a soda high binge rant on what we wanted,
We even wrote it down. Well, I wrote it down because I had the best handwriting out of the two of us.
which is still shit. It's just less
My
shit than
cuneiform
mine.
looking handwriting. Only
Well, it sounds neat, and it sounds like you have your protagonist and antagonist, and you have what the obstacles are for each person, but it doesn't really sound like you have an actual goal. So
yeah, so the goal is for him to get back into his body, because the only way he can get back into his body, and it would be established in the first episode, is he's got to kill the other guy. So if he wants his body back, if he wants to go home and get his body back, he's got to beat the other guy.
So the way he ends up getting pulled into isekai'd into this world, right? He ends up waking up, and as he wakes up, he's partially being encased in a crystal. Well, he ends up passing out because being encased in crystal is painful. When he wakes up, he's in a different body, and he like interacts with this other character, who's like, yeah, let me give you the rundown of some things. So your real body is actually encased in a crystal pod hidden somewhere else in the world.
No, it's not hidden. It's like he fucking knows where it is.
Well, he knows.
He knows where his body is.
Other folks don't though, because it's hidden.
Yeah, so he's essentially, and you know, it's kind of hard to breathe when you're in a crystal. So, like, hold on, the papers are over there. Grab it. But like we came up with this entire lore. Like the lore of this world is essentially a god, a single god controlled literally everything. He was essentially a god of infinite. And he decided to make himself finite, which created things like plants, people, and stuff like that. But he still had full control over everything. However, in making himself finite, it established a good and evil, because those are part of a finite thing. And physical forms of evil, and like the worst parts of himself, which is like hate, self-hate.
Basically metastasized and formed
Yeah,
crystals.
and they tried to kill him. And they eventually were able to do so, which shattered him, which gave people
Sentience.
sentience. But once he died and crystallized and shattered, these crystals each held parts of what he could do. And what he could do was control literally everything, and be several people at once. So, this main character is trapped in a crystal that allowed the original person who had all these powers to be different people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the antagonist, he's trapped in his own crystal, which allowed him to control animals. So he can be in any individual animals. We say animals, we're not just talking about like dogs, cats, bears,
Like dragons,
dragons and shit.
Dragons, krakens, whatever you can think of.
So he would be able to possess it. However, whenever like their host dies, their soul now has to find a new host. So if it doesn't, the body starts dying, because the body starts going through like aging. Well, I say aging. It starts experiencing being trapped, what it's like to be trapped in a crystal, aka you can't breathe, you can't move, your blood is solidified, and
You can't get
you're
nutrients.
dying. So
what ends up happening is they kind of form like a symbiotic link with their with the host body and with the surrogate body. And so the surrogate body basically allows to transfer food, air, and water and all that, and get rid of waste for the body trapped inside the crystal pod. And whenever the person is outside of a host body, the body that's inside the pod, the crystal pod, begins to suffocate, begins to no longer have the access to the surrogate's link to the outside world.
so they're dying. So essentially, they're dying when they're not in a different body.
If you really want to get technical, they basically have a 3-minute window before their brain shuts down due to lack of oxygen.
Okay. So how are they forced out of the body that they're in? Because obviously there has to be. I would assume that
it's the
they could
power
be
of the
forced
crystal
out.
which does that.
Which they're encased in.
Yeah, that crystal which gives them that power forces them out of their body, and the reason it's forcing them out of their body is because it complete. So these crystals separate
host
body
body.
and soul.
I mean, how could they be forced out of the host body?
Oh, by
Oh,
death?
dying. Yeah, if that host body fucking
Okay.
fucking dies. Now the main
Okay.
character is going to be faced with more conflict, as he has a time limit in which he can leave a body that's not his. So he can choose
Without
to leave.
completely destroying the mind.
Yeah, so if he leaves within 24 hours, he can effectively leave that body without the person who was in that body facing any harm. However, if he leaves after that 24-hour period, that person will drop dead because it couldn't handle all the input from two people.
2 souls in one body.
Mm-hmm. So he now has a moral dilemma to where, hey, if I stay in this body for too long, I'll kill it. If I ever eventually decide I need a different body or a different disguise or a different form.
Also, a sub effect caused by him possessing folks is he gains like their skills and also bits and pieces of their personality and memory. So what ends up happening is if he possesses too many killers and serial murderers, he himself will end up inevitably becoming one of those unless something grounds him.
And we do have a grounding thing, which is the love interest.
The canary, as they're called.
Yeah, we call them the canary.
Like a canary in the mine.
And it's supposed to ground them to reality and who they originally were, because you eventually lose yourself if you're in too many different people, you know? Too many different minds interacting with each other, you eventually lose who you originally were.
A loss of identity. You could say you forget your real face.
Okay. So there's 2 people you've mentioned that have this power. Are there others?
Yes, but
there
they
are
got different variants of it.
Yeah, so there's different variations, and that's for different seasons going forward if we ever get past season 1.
Like season 2 has a
I
really
would-
neat antagonist.
I would watch the heck out of that if you guys actually did that.
Yeah, I think it's we have like several papers on it, and like this is like episode 1 for season 1. Actually, do we have any on the back? No, we don't.
No.
But we have the main character.
And like a bit of lore about how the crystals work and where they come from. And like magic has like costs and stuff, but they're mainly done through the crystals themselves.
Yeah, so like if someone, and crystals are very, very rare.
Very rare.
And what we gave the original creatures that that metastasize out of like the hate and the self-hate, the self-loathing, the depression,
they're actually the crystals.
well, no, that was supposed to be a secret. Nick, keep your goddamn mouth shut. I said they have a name. I was going to say they have a name, and we call them golems. So the golems are the ancient evil of this world. So Nick, you mind keeping your mouth shut?
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, hey, if you guys need like a script writer or anything, I would happily help you guys work on that because that sounds pretty dope.
Because we have terrible, like we have a good general idea, but I don't think we would ever come up with dialogue that works.
Like I can come up with alright dialogue, but it's not like the best dialogue.
I want you to look me in the eyes, straight face, and say that.
I can come up with pretty good dialogue.
Do you believe
Alright
that
dialogue.
truly?
Yeah,
Truly
because I
for the
write books, you know.
How many have been published?
2.
What?
No, I'm not getting literally 2.
No, bullshit. I fact check.
One of them was in like a little multi-book series, and the other one was the little book itself. But both of them was done through the school.
So none of them published. They were just put into the school. How many of them did you make money off of? Let me
0.
exactly. That's all that matters. It's not about what you do, who you know. It's about the green.
It's about the money.
It's about green.
It's a Sprite top.
Shut up. You're not my mom.
What you say to me, sonny?
Anyway. But please?
But yeah, I'll do it. Shit, man, that'd be fun.
Like, I mean, we've got like the general world, but we have no fucking names.
Oh, yeah.
we have like, I think the only name we have is like,
Or like the very, very first being.
yeah, which is like, what did we call him? Where
The first faceless king.
yes, the people, and like, there's this whole plot of like, well, I say plot, but the world has like 3 religions going off of the ideology of how this king,
And how the great shattering affects the world.
and one of these churches is helping the other guy with animals because they think he's like they think he's the original, and they think and the bad guy's goal isn't to free himself from his body; it's to get the other guy's power, which he could gain from killing him.
Oh, possessing him, to be exact.
But he would have, because they can possess each other's crystals.
Correct.
And that's that's the only shared power, is being able to possess one another's crystal. And once they get that crystal, they kill the other person, essentially. However, they also gain the power. So this guy can only control animals, but then he'll be able to control people. So it gives him a major advantage in the world.
Right.
Then he's gonna go seek out other people, which may or may not be trapped in crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, and going back to the canaries, the canaries keep you sane, and there's like we will talk to you privately, because if anyone steals this goddamn idea, I'll fucking find you. Look me in the eyes. I'll find you.
It's already copyrighted.
And I'll pee on you. You don't want that to happen. And unless you like that, then I won't do that. And then I will say you are weird. And
Well, those folks would probably ask for feet pics or something, too.
fucking people
Go ahead and put the copyright in the description of this video. Just say copyright. If you steal this idea, you're gonna get pissed on. Unless you like that, then
Hey,
you're
we
just
don't
weird.
want money from it. We just want to pee on you.
Like dragging them into like the basement. They're like,
No, we were like dragging them to court. We have a copyright, and it clearly states anyone who infringes upon our copyright gets peed on. They broke legal limits, so we now get to legally pee on them.
the judge is like, fair enough.
Fair enough. I fucking hate you, Nick. I just hate you.
It's just one side of the coin of love. Same intensity of the emotion.
No, the hate is on both of those. Both love is on a coin that wasn't only dilapidated, but like corroded, peed on, burned, bent, cut in half, put through a shredder, taken out of the
rain,
and then subsequently thrown into lava. That is what happened to that love coin.
It's been refined.
What?
You
It's
throw
in
it into lava. It's refined.
No.
It melts back
You'll-
down to its basic point.
You will never see that coin again. That's what's gonna happen.
It's all happened because of Adam Johnson.
Yes. It's all because of Adam Johnson. Now, Nick, leave my house. Okay.
You can see me hop through the window. Let's see. So, does the anime happen on Mars?
No, it does not
No, it
happen
does
on
not.
Mars. No, it does not happen on Mars.
It's not like John Carpenter's Mars.
John Carpenter's Mars?
You never heard of that?
No, I haven't.
I believe the book was written by the same guy that wrote the Tarzan or whatever. The original
John-
Tarzan. Look it up.
John Carpenter's Mars. Let's see here.
I know there's a movie, but originally it was a novel.
John Carpenter's Mars.
John Carpenter Mars.
Ghost of Mars. It's Ghost of Mars, not Mars. It's on Hulu. We can watch it. Probably not going to, though.
But it's based off of a book, and like this guy like gets like sent to Mars, and like because he grew up on Earth, he has stronger muscles. He's like stronger because the gravity's less, and so he's basically like a superhero. And of course, he ends up falling in love with the princess of Mars
Hold on.
and so forth.
Hold on. Give me a second. John. You mean John Carter? Hold on. You mean John Carter? You mean the movie John Carter, which was a horrible. I don't see how it has. No,
It's based on a book though.
it had a box office of $284 and a budget of $306 million. This movie tanked. It was horrible. It was John Carpenter, the guy who made Halloween. Like,
I'm better with faces and descriptions. Not.
I was
not
like,
names.
John Carpenter. There's no way he made made a shitty movie about Mars.
John Carpenter is not the name of the guy that wrote it. It's the name of the character in the book.
Yeah, no,
But it's
John
not
John
Carter.
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 Just imagine John Carpenter goes to Mars and he's like, okay, so a guy with a knife is going after this girl one day a year, and all the Martians are like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
No, they wouldn't be saying that, but
Apparently, you've never seen John Carter. It's a horrible movie. Got a 52
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't trust critics anyway. They're all stupid.
No, it was a really horrible movie. I'm sure that the book was a lot better, but freaking whatever they did with that movie, they fucking butchered it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would hope the movie's better. And I think when you say Mars, John Carpenter's Mars. So there's a movie called John Carter, and then there's a movie called The Martian with who is it?
Mark Wahlberg or something.
No, it was not
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Who's the guy that's always like
Not-
stuck on like a place and it's always you had to find him or get him off of whichever you call it?
Was Mark Wahlberg in The Martian? No,
Yeah,
it was
I
Matt
think
Damon.
so.
It was Matt Damon. They look really similar though.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, The
Sebastian
Martian
Stan
was
in
actually
there? I
pretty
didn't know.
good.
Yeah, The Martian was really good, and a lot of the science actually holds up. Like someone like on the internet proved that like he could have 100% legit survived on potatoes, and that all
Yeah.
the science that
It's
they
just-
did in that, even the science that they weren't up to speed with, was 100% accurate.
Yeah, especially since
Mhm.
they established that the farm was at.
Hold on,
The soil
Donald
was
Glover
actually
was in there.
Yeah, he was the guy that like came up with the idea of the slingshot, like the retrieval pod or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Oh man.
There was a lot of folks in that movie. Huh.
For someone.
Yeah, Michael Pena. I swear to God.
Hold on. Andy Samberg was in that movie, and Selena Gomez, and Adam Sandler. No fucking way.
You sure that's just not a list of just celebrities?
No, this is a list of the cast. This is the cast.
Sandler was not in The Martian.
It doesn't have like his character's name.
No, it doesn't have a lot of these people's names, but a lot of these people had either small cameos or were in this movie somewhere. The fuck?
Martian cast.
Martian.
He's typing
Okay,
in Adam
so
Sandler.
Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain. No, Adam Sandler wasn't in there.
I'm looking
not
at the
on the
cast
list.
list right now.
Type in The Martian and Adam Sandler.
Oh, wait.
See what that pulls up. Half them.
No, because now it's just going into There's no way Michael Caine was in there.
Michael Caine.
What?
Hold on. Well, let's see. Reference in. Okay, so no. So what this is also people who referenced it. Adam Sandler was a person who referenced it in one of his movies, I believe. Let's see.
Why would they do that in the casts?
Late Night with Seth Meyers, Anne Hathaway, Bennett. I have no fucking clue. Maybe they were part of they had some small producer credits.
Plot twist, he's actually just the guy holding the boom mic.
You know that one scene where the boom mic phases in from the side? That's Adam Sandler. Anyway,
If you were stuck on Mars, what'd you do?
cry? I think that's all I could do.
Gasp for breath.
No, you know what? If I was ever stuck on Mars, I'd just like fucking send it, you know? Take the helmet off and just fucking send it, you know?
What if you did that and suddenly you're like, oh,
And I could
If
breathe
stuck
it.
on Mars, I would wonder how the hell I got there in the first place because I do not have that much knowledge to get there.
Well, so no, you know, there's actually a statistical chance that anything could fucking happen. I mean, it's like very, very, very small, like to the 11 billionth zero.
You like flick the light switch on and
One-
boom, you're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
in
seriously,
Mars.
that there is actual science to back that up. That there's no matter how improbable it is, there's still that one probability that it actually could happen.
You think
Literally anything.
you think Elon flicks the light switch over
Constantly.
to go to
Mars,
Mars?
Mars, 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 Mars.
You guys like teleport. He's like, I'm in Chattanooga.
No, he teleports. Damn it, this is Saturn.
I don't like it. I shouldn't have put a ring on it.
God. God. Did you just reference Beyonce's hit song, Single Ladies, in this podcast?
Yep. Oh, single age.
Why is that the voice you default to when doing a woman? Why? Do you not have anything better or creative?
Oh, certainly, young man.
Oh my god.
Why did you? Why did you?
Because sometimes like the universe surprises you. I'm going for that statistical chance, that improbable chance of like 1 to the 10 to the trillion billion percent that
No, it's just 0.001 thou.
yeah, it's like a Google of zeros and then a 1.
Point two.
No, like a Googleplex, a Google to the Google power.
Fine, you sold me at 99.1%.
What? That means the next thing that would come out of your mouth would most probably be something coherent.
That's exactly right.
God damn it. Why did it have to be that? Why did it have to be that one? Okay, well, Victoria, what would you do? While me and Elon are flicking light switches hoping to send Nick to Mars, what would you do if you were ever trapped on Mars? Hello?
If I were trapped on Mars. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I do.
Okay. If I were trapped on Mars, I would try and find the spaceship that took me there.
It got Matt Damon. Say you got Matt Damon.
Nah, you just look up and you just see it leaving you. It just
Yeah.
got you. It's,
Toodaloo,
What would you
motherfucker!
do?
Okay. Well, there would be at least a little bit of research left behind, like Matt Damon had his book, that could give me some tips and tricks on how to survive for a while, but
How long did you think
I would
you
mostly
survive?
try and get communication back up as quick as possible, so that way I could be like, hey, come back!
I would survive 3 weeks.
You think you would survive 3 weeks? How long? How many days do you think you would survive? Assuming no one's coming to save you.
Probably 2, and I would probably make it to where I had a pleasant final meal, and then I would do something to make it to where I went quick and quietly.
I'd just fucking send it, I think I'd last about
just-
about 5 minutes maybe.
I'm
I'd be
just
like,
built different. I would just take my helmet off and be fine.
built
different.
you know what? You do you, bud. I'm
There's
just
the
gonna
true
keep clicking
Martian.
light switches.
Oh, that's how I'm gonna get back home. I'm just gonna flick the light switch up and down.
You're gonna make a light switch out of rocks and dirt from Mars,
Just
and
pick
just
two
start
rocks
flicking.
together. I'm like smacking them together. Like, come on, go back home. Go back home. Go back home.
You turn 95. You see me, and I see you just teleport next to me. You're like, how did you get off of Mars? And you're like, you left
rocks.
2 rocks, and you be turned to me and go, why'd you leave me, Cole? It's because I thought I would get rid of you. I thought the light switches would work. Elon, get the light switch flicker, quick!
It turns out like I pulled like a Nappa from a bridge.
Be like
and you're just
fucking
hearing my
Charlie the
thoughts
Unicorn
nonstop.
after they left him on the moon to blow up.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Nick,
now-
I want you to stand.
I wish to go home.
Oh man.
You like color your space boots red and you click your heels 3 times. So like, I
You
want
know,
to go
you know
home.
what that reminds me of?
What?
What Victoria said. That reminds me of the Fairly Odd Parents episode with Norm the genie, and he's like stuck with Crocker, right? And Crocker's coming up
Oh
with
my
all these crazy schemes to like get rid of Timmy Turner and find his Fairly Odd Parents, and Norm's like, just wish for him to be on the moon, or like, no, he says Mars. Just wish for him to be on Mars, and he keeps saying no, and Norm finally says fuck it, and and goes to Timmy, and Timmy wishes for him to be trapped on Mars, and then you hear Norm go, like I said, Mars. That's all you had to do. Now look at you dying on Mars. Oh man, I haven't seen Fairly Odd Parents in like years. However, I remember that vividly.
Gotcha. I remember when Cosmo got pregnant.
What? Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Turns out fairies are like seahorses.
Why
I'm
was
right.
the freaking anti-fairies the ones that actually made fucking sense in that entirety? Because
Who fucking
anti-Cosmo
knows?
wasn't the one that got pregnant. It was freaking anti-Wanda.
Because they're like the opposite of them and everything. So, you know.
It is what it is. So say
Yeah, I
you
know, but
stuck
like,
on
why
Mars.
did the anti ones have to make more sense than the actual fairies?
Because Butch Harmon is insane,
I don't
and
know.
he
The writers wanted it that way.
well, yeah, Butch Harmon's insane. Yeah, I said that same thing.
Yeah.
Proved his insanity with the Timmy Turner for Jimmy Neutron crossover.
No, he proved his insanity with the shitty season follow-ups of Danny Phantom. The first season, great season. Second season, meh. Third season, what the fuck is this show? This isn't Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. Uh,
Yeah.
oh no, actually, I think Duff Puppy. If you guys remember that show at all,
Oh,
dogs and
God.
cats that were secret agents.
It's
Mhm.
not ringing a bell.
Did you hear they're bringing back iCarly?
Really?
Yeah, they got rid
Are
of Sam
they?
for some. Yeah, they got rid of Sam for some reason though.
How are they going to bring it back? Aren't they like 30 or whatever?
I have no idea, but like,
Because they were like 20 when they were filming it.
hold on, I'll show you. I'll show you the. I
They
C
got to
A
bring
R
back Gibby. Gibby's got to be like ripped.
REV revival cast. Yep. Yep, this is 100% the thing that's happening. This year. It's happening this year.
Really?
Yeah, cuz like so many people I
Really?
think on like the internet were like, "Oh, we missed it so much."
Hey, look, it's Discount Michael Jackson.
Discount Michael Jackson.
Ran the Cosgrove.
Oh yeah. Jerry Trainer was a gift though.
You know, there was like a theory that like Spencer actually like kidnapped. What's her face?
Yeah, so he was like that crazy guy from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
And he like kidnapped Megan and like fucking brainwashed her essentially. Which is fucked up. What else has this guy been in? Let's see here. He's been in Donnie Darko. What?
is that?
You've never heard
What?
of Donnie Darko?
No.
I haven't either.
How have you? This is like got like such a huge cult following. How have you not heard of Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko.
It's like it's this whole thing on like parallel universes, and it's
Right.
like it's like an okay thing. However, it's like gotten such a huge cult following. It's
Is that like the movie where it has like those two little kids and like they send a rabbit into the future or whatever? And like
no. So essentially, Jake Gyllenhaal is Donnie Darko. And what happened? What happened was a jet turbine fell on his house.
Right.
Now, he was supposed to die in that. However,
But he
he was
didn't.
not in his house at the time, which created an alternate universe, and
where he did die.
eventually, and like this is from what I gathered from it, but you've probably seen like the scenes from it at the very least, like you've ever
Is
seen
it
that
the one
like
where like the rabbits like outside in like waves or some shit?
yeah, I think so. I haven't seen it in forever, but
That's weird.
it's like a really really dark movie. It's got like no reprieve. It's got its moments, but it's like a super dark movie. What else was he in? Stuff that failed looks like immediately. iCarly would think was his biggest thing besides Drake and Josh. And he was also in Tough Puppy.
Oh, I remember it now that I see it. Tough Puppy. I didn't know that's what that was called.
He was in Henry Danger.
Don't know what that is.
It's the Nickelodeon's like superhero shit.
Right.
What?
Mhm.
He went to a
Gibby's
cathedral
name is
Catholic school.
Noah Munich. Hold on, I'm just looking up. He was in, the character who played Gibby was in Bad Teacher.
Really? I didn't know that.
He was in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah,
He was in the Tom Sawyer Huckleberry Finn movie.
did not know that.
Man. What was the guy who played fucking whoever this is? Into the Storm. Speaking of like old cartoon characters, did you guys know? I think it was Cole Sprouse starred in his own horror movie. Like he had a horror movie and he was like the villain of it.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing. God, what was the name of it? I think I remember seeing the trailer for that.
Hold on. Yeah, it was. I don't ever remember names of since I'm such a huge movie buff, you'd think I'd remember shit like this. Uh let's see here. Where is it? Was it Dylan Sprouse actually? Dylan Sprouse H.O. horror movie. Oh, it's called Dismissed. And it was Dylan Sprouse. Yeah.
They brothers.
Did you just really ask that fucking question? Did you?
They got the same last name.
The characters from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck.
Right.
You really don't know
They're
who they
twins. They're literally twins.
I just thought they looked like really close.
Nick, I'm gonna give you a 5-second head start to run for your goddamn life.
You know I don't run.
Well, you got 5 seconds,
Well,
and I've got a Magnum, the strongest handgun in the West. What do you have?
a magnet, really strong magnet.
I have a 45 Magnum. What do you have? A really, really big magnet, like Doofenshmirtz level big.
I call it the magnet array.
The Magnator Ray. Oh my gosh.
So I didn't know they were literally brothers.
Yeah.
Imagine making bank with your brother. You just put that stuff in the bank.
Yeah, so like actually there was this meme that went around for a little while where this guy said I could outbench Colin Dillon Sprouse, and I think one of them said, "Bitch, you couldn't lift my wallet." But like apparently like the guy who played Zack owns like a bar now. Yeah. So like he stopped doing film and stuff like that, and he just decided to open up his own bar.
Well, I mean, if you were a child store and banked all your money and didn't get cooked on cocaine and heroin and all that stuff.
Macaulay Culkin bounced back, which is actually surprising.
Right.
I didn't like when you hear he was like on heroin and shit. You're like, oh, he's a lost cause, but then you're like, oh, dude made a recovery. Dude's back. Sucks that he's only ever gonna be known for fucking Home Alone. I mean, it's a good movie and everything, but to have your entire legacy built on that one movie when you were a kid.
You know what they need to do is turn Home Alone into, like, they need to continue it, but the kid's now like a special ops soldier, right? And it's still Macaulay Culkin. And you just get it directed by the same director that does John Wick. You just saw what...
He's a special ops, and... No, he's like a special ops who had like an engineering degree. He's trapped behind enemy lines, and the only way he can get out is by building traps to keep these guys from getting to him.
He's a CB. He's a military CB. Those are the guys that build
No,
up forward operation base.
EOD. Make it an EOD. It's just freaking bomb disposal. It's just, I can get out of this. I'll just make a freaking bomb trap. There you go.
You know, if I throw a paint can at this bomb, it probably won't explode.
If I mix aluminum and rust together, that would make thermite. If I sprinkle it all around the place.
Well, it's a lot more than aluminum and rust. There's actually a lot more elements.
Not really. It's just aluminum and rust.
No, it's not, actually.
It's ferric oxide and aluminum.
And you would need
And of course you need a heat source.
And another chemical to put them together.
Nope.
Yes, actually, I saw it on Mythbusters. There is a third element in that. 100%. There's a third element on that.
Look it up. It'll show you ferric oxide and then aluminum. You're thinking iron, aluminum, and oxygen. Yeah, three chemicals, three elements to be technical. Then heat. See? Iron, aluminum, ferric oxide.
Let's see here. Heat the reactions commonly powdered and mixed with a binder. Yes, the binder. That's what I'm talking about. It's the binder, because you need the binder for the two, and that binder is that third thing.
It's ferric oxide. That's what the binder is.
Yeah, but you can't just put rust and aluminum oxide together. You still need the binding agent to hold them all together.
Aluminum oxide becomes
Hold on.
aluminum and ferric oxide combined together, creating iron itself, causing the oxygen to fuse with the aluminum to create aluminum oxide. That's the product from the reactants.
Why did they?
It says lead balloon.
Yeah, when they did the lead balloon, they were going over the Hindenburg, which when the Hindenburg went up, there was a lot of theories of why it exploded.
Right.
Which the biggest one is it was the materials that were on that balloon created a thermite reaction.
I doubt that.
Actually, there was small bits of thermite reaction going on. However, it didn't, since it was different sizes on different parts, it didn't all go up the same way. So the reaction was different.
I don't think the thermite would have caused it.
No,
that's because they had freaking hydrogen in there.
Yes, it was a hydrogen balloon, and that's the general consensus of what happened. But
the thermite was
the
just
reason...
a result of maybe thrusted bolts in the aluminum on the outside.
Well, see, it's actually coated in a paint, and that paint is what
aluminum paint.
Yeah, it wasn't just aluminum paint. There was bottom layers of that, which was ferric oxide.
Rust.
Yes, and well, actually, no, it wasn't actually rust.
That's what ferric oxide is. It's
yeah,
rust.
I know, but they made it into a paint. They legit made this stuff into a paint to keep it as like a sealant.
Yeah, you create an unnatural patina on something to keep it from rusting.
And then they layered this stuff on. And they had like 3 layers in the way they did it. And the reason this came to light is because a NASA scientist went over. This was like a very renowned. He had like several publications.
Right.
And he said, "Hey, there was something else going on here besides just the hydrogen, because it wouldn't go up that fast." However, when they did the reactions and they tested it, because they tested it on not to scale, but like 1/16 scale,
right?
Which, again, is a really difficult thing to do, since you're essentially making a Zeppelin balloon that needs to fly with hydrogen. And they had 3 different paint coatings. One, which was a thermite paint, because that's what the myth was, that it was thermite that set it off. But then they had the original paint mixture on there, and then they had another paint mixture on there that was excessive to what they had on there. That was said to be on the Hindenburg at the time.
And said to be on are 2 different things, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
Why don't they just look at the blueprints and the?
Because they did look at the blueprints.
They build it up exactly how it is.
That's what they did in MythBusters. However, the original reaction with what they had on the blueprints did not go up like the Hindenburg did. In fact, the second one, where it was overly coated and all this other stuff, is the reaction that they got. And then they did the thermite one just for shits and giggles, because that's what the myth was. The thermite one went up pretty fucking quick. But the second reaction was the one that looks like the Hindenburg. And
that had the exact similar.
That had the same reaction. The first one, which was said to be on the balloon,
just burned up.
No, it didn't burn fast enough. The Hindenburg went down in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, no.
And the first one took more than 6 minutes to go up.
That's pretty slow.
Yeah. Then the second one went up in around I think it was a 0.09 second difference.
Right.
And then the thermite one went out in like 30 seconds because it's thermite. However, they did see thermite reactions on all three of them.
Right.
Because
Because thermite paint.
Yeah. But they said the theory was not plausible, so it was a busted theory that thermite would set it off. And
Probably just some smoker flicking off a cigarette or something.
well, they did have a smoking room on the Hindenburg.
Exactly.
If you did not know that, that
why I
is
said
that is. But it actually, I think it was something collapsed inside the casing that set off the hydrogen.
That started a spark or whatever.
And it set off the entire
Steel
thing.
striking steel.
But that's our Hindenburg episode. Thank you for joining our Hindenburg. No, I'm joking.
There's Hindenburgs on Mars.
Hindenburgs on Mars. Yes, all of the Hindenburgs. But yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it tonight. Unless Victoria, you have anything else to say about Mars?
No, I don't really have anything else I could add on.
What do you think it tastes like?
Banana.
Did you ask me what you think it tastes
Yeah,
like?
Yeah.
Bananas.
What would Mars taste like?
I think it would taste like bananas.
I think it would probably taste really, really bitter and metallic.
What do you think it would taste like?
I think it tastes like a Mars bar.
Okay, that's the end of my patience for tonight.
No, it probably tastes like iron.
All right. Good night, everyone, and thank you, Victoria, again. You've been a pleasure.
Night, guys.
And that's a wrap, people.